Hey you guys, my name is Tiara Drake and I'm the founder of Girls on Another Level. In a nutshell, Girls on Another Level aims to progressively empower women who are catalysts for success. As I celebrate my third year, I want to expand my brand beyond just a podcast. If you consider yourself a girl on another level, for a limited time, we are selling shirts in an assortment of colors. We also do have a lot of requests coming in about how to start a podcast, what music to use, where do I go to find equipment. And so with the knowledge and experience I have, I'm now offering podcast courses to assist you along your journey as a podcaster. But we're not done. Backed by popular demand, our gold hats are back in stock. And the highly anticipated season 6 of my podcast is here. The goal is to elevate and inspire the minds of women while they navigate their journey to a beneficial future. With the voice God gave me, I am committed to helping others become a girl on another level. I'm your host, Tiara Drake, and this is the Hustle mini-series where we focus on young adults with established careers and businesses that are on their journey to the top. Hey guys, this is Tiara Drake, and welcome back to another episode of the Hustle mini-series. So today I have the honor to interview Ife Nwachukwu, and the list goes on. I mean, he's a speaker, mental health advocate, Scrum Master, am I leaving something out? Social media influencer, the list goes on. So welcome to the show, Ife, how are you?
I'm great, thank you for having me.
Yes.
Y'all got a good setup, man, I like this.
Yes, gotta, get you in, make you feel comfortable and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, so a little background story. I know of Ife through high school. Most people know him as Ife Nwachukwu, the 6'3" basketball legend from Duluth High.
Throwback.
Yes. And so really, I want to start off with something.
Yeah.
So when you sent me your bio, I think it was a false statement.
A false statement? Wait.
Because like I mentioned, you guys, he is a social media influencer. And you say you started posting and creating content in 2018. However, However, doing my little research, I found out that you actually started doing content a little earlier, and I think this had to be back in middle school, high school, so I just want to show a video.
Wait, no, chill.
I want to show a video,
Hey, no.
and I want to see if you remember this.
Okay.
Oh concerning the number 2 player
my.
in ESPN 100. The stage is yours, young man.
The best school for me next year to 10 is ITT Tech, online basketball.
So
How did you find, wait, how did you find that?
listen, I had to put my journalism skills to use. That was
What the, how did you find that?
so that video was around like 2013, 2014. Wait.
Man, that was like 2014. She coming like Narwhal.
Yeah, so, just had to point that out, a little false statement in your bio. So clearly, coming out of high school, you kind of wanted to pursue that, influencing route. You started off at Georgia State after high school, and so you didn't end there, but coming into college, what was your ideal goal as far as careers?
As far as careers, I always wanted to play professional basketball at first, but that route went a different direction because I started doing clothing brand. Then when social media was growing at the time, I found myself getting really creative with it, and I saw how much I could be much of a presence on that, and I just took off with that ever since. Social media was just my life from college, even after that. Yeah, it was. It gave me a new insight of other people's perspective and how to be more creative with my life and other people's as well. Yeah.
So what's your creative process like? Well, back then, and kind of how have you evolved from that first video?
So even with that video, that was the foundation because I was always silly, and I would just think outside the box of how to stand out. So even when I used to start making a lot of silly videos that were outside the box, people would just be like, "This guy is really weird, really different." And I did that because I knew standing out and being different was going to catch attention. And when I did that, it just created an audience on my own. So I just stay consistent with that. I didn't really have a process. I could wake up one day and think of something like that, whether it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and I just have like a creative mindset. It just came natural.
Okay. So now sometimes people have creative ideas, but they may be an introvert. Like me, I'm an introvert. Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm very much, I would say both. Like I'm very secluded and do a lot of things by myself. But when it comes to like being outside or seeing people, they wouldn't think I'm an extrovert because I'm very good at like talking to people and just being able to give people like comfortability. So yeah, I've always been like that.
So what advice would you give to someone who is an introvert and looking to pursue, the creative field?
I mean, I think like you can be creative and still be like very quiet. I think if you're trying to do something that you have to be outspoken with, you just have to like take that next step in coming out of your comfort zone, understanding that you're going to explore more about yourself. And I think being an extrovert works in hand with like, meeting different people, like building like certain connections that can be a foundation for what you're trying to build. So you really just have to like be uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, basically. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So now, like I said, he wears many hats. So, you started off with, social media, influencing. But, we've talked before and you're a speaker as well. Right. So clearly social media influencing came first. And then you kind of transitioned into speaking, and it was sort of a coincidence, just a random setup. Can you kind of tell people a little bit of how you broke into that industry?
Yeah, so shout out to Gabby. Gabby, so when I was at UGA back in 2017, she like got me this opportunity to speak at the FBLA conference, which was like young entrepreneurs. And I had like a brand at the time, so she just like randomly told me come like in a couple of days. And I came out to speak to like 40 kids, and I found that I was really good at what I was doing with that, and I saw like people cry that day. That was like my first time speaking, just because I told them my story and like the essence of like hard work and dedication, and from there I just built on that. So once you're good at something, you want to be able to like keep going with it, but then you can also find out that you can actually like get paid with it too. So some people say never do things for free, but at the same time, don't start something because you want to do it for money. So yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Okay. But now that you kind of broke into speaking and everything like that, when you were in the process of sharing your story, how did you kind of cultivate that to be able to influence others?
It just came from really empathizing and trying to resonate with other people, because a lot of people, they have different stories, but no one really wants to listen to your story until you actually like reach the pinnacle. Because then at the same time, it's like, okay, it's just another person, they have a story, but they're still like, going through something. So how can they really help me out? So being able to tell people, the pain, the struggle that I've been through mentally and like in life, it makes them understand, okay, this person can persevere, why can't I too? So people go through a lot more things, like worse things, people in different countries, people in different places, situations, but if you can resonate with them in a little way, it gives them hope, and people just need hope nowadays. So
that is true.
Yeah.
So you built this brand. You first started off with, comedy videos. And then as you begin to build your brand, you started doing speaking engagements. Yeah. You transitioned to TikTok.
Yeah.
Where you have over 2.2 million followers. So he'll definitely shout out, his socials later. But tell me, how did you go from comedy to building a whole community behind disability awareness?
It's crazy. Like, I've always put purpose into like even this community videos, because I always did it because I wanted people to be able to do something that they love without being interrupted or feeling like, okay, this person judging me, so I can't do it. So in the sense, like when I got on TikTok, I was advocating for so many people with disabilities, mental health, whether it was trafficking, whether it was domestic violence, anything. So I felt a lot of pain because I got a lot of messages from people that go through situations, people that never wanted to come behind closed doors come outside because they look different and people would judge them, bully them. So I became a voice for people that necessarily didn't have a voice. And even when I was, advocating for them, posting about them to bring awareness, you would still see the ignorant. So I understood that, like, okay, this is a real problem, so I have to, like, really, be a voice for these people. And once I stick with something, like, I'm gonna, like, go 150%, because I feel a lot of people's pain, and it holds on to me, so I just gotta, like, really, like, build on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you definitely built that community, the IFBs.
Yeah.
So I know that had to be a really big accomplishment for you, knowing that you're touching and reaching to so many people.
Yeah.
And that's not the typical content that you would see,
Yeah.
on social media platforms. So I think that's amazing.
Thank
Totally back that up 100%.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But, with you having that big following on TikTok, you were almost to 100,000 followers on Instagram. And then everything just kind of stopped.
Yes.
So did you wanting to become a Scrum Master have anything to do with that? And, what was your decision and process like with stopping that?
Yeah, so even with Instagram, what happened, so quick story, like in July, I came to a realization that Instagram was just too consuming, like it was just taking a toll on my life. So I decided to, like, I had like a real heart to heart with God, and he told me to, like, delete Instagram. So when I deleted the Instagram, he was like, just use LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. So that's when I made my LinkedIn, and I didn't care about LinkedIn at all, like back then. I didn't really know how to use it, but when I got on it, I figured out that, okay, I can use my strategies, like how I was going on their platforms, and I started to see so many people in the job market and advocate for them too. And once I realized how many people were struggling trying to find a job or just struggling, like, financially, I took that on, and it really, like, made me realize, okay, people that are 25, 30, 40, 50, they're struggling too still, like, a lot of things. So I grew quickly on LinkedIn because I just love helping people, and it's genuine for me, because sometimes you can see people on platforms that are just doing it for likes. They're just doing it for, like, publicity, but with me, like, truly, like, I love helping people, and I think that's what also helped me with my job too. So.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your job.
Yeah.
Scrum Master. I did not know what that was. And I saw you on LinkedIn, and I was like, what is a Scrum Master? So tell me and the people that are watching, what is a Scrum Master?
So a Scrum Master, you see a lot of Scrum Masters in tech companies, and basically a Scrum Master is someone that facilitates and guides a team. So your team will be like a Scrum Master, a product owner, and, like, developers or engineers. And sometimes people compare a Scrum Master to a project manager, but really a Scrum Master, they make sure that the team is, like, efficient with their work, coaching them instead of telling them, like, instead of managing them. And they're basically like the favorite uncle or favorite auntie in the family. Everyone can come to them if they want to talk, whether it's business related or just, like, personal stuff. So I do a good job of being that type of person, and you find out that, like, people will sometimes have discussions with you that have nothing to do with work, but they can come to you because they feel comfortable. So yeah.
Oh, that was the perfect role for you, man, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
But, you kind of talked about it a little bit. What was your journey like, trying to become a Scrum Master?
Well, like, back then it was easier to be a Scrum Master, because not, like, nowadays, because of social media, everyone wants to be a Scrum Master. Like, they see that all the time, and because of, like, how much they make, and because of how much they make, and just, like, how easy they think it is. It's really not as easy as what people think it is, but if you're good at communicating, you can, like, really venture out into it. But like, the process when I got on LinkedIn, I was looking for my next position, right? And I knew that I could get a job by usually, like, really using LinkedIn instead of just applying, because think about it, if you're just applying, you're going to be in competition with everyone else. So I just, like, used LinkedIn to my full advantage, and I got the job because, like, my boss now found me through LinkedIn. Set up an interview, like, I had like 3 or 4 different interviews, and I got the job. So that's how it worked.
God is good.
Amen. All the time.
No, that's crazy, because you went from one social media platform to another, because LinkedIn is, I mean, that's it's becoming that way now.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that I get this title right. You are ranked top 25 most influential LinkedIn creators, and you've really built that community, you know, around giving hope and really sticking to the process when it comes to the job search.
Yeah.
But you know, you've gone from comedy videos to now being an advocate, being a speaker, and now you're a Scrum Master. But I think one thing that all of those roles have in common is the fact that you influence. And you know, just in a world right now with negativity, chaos, and just crazy stuff going on, how do you remain positive while you're still influencing others?
I think I remain positive just mostly because I look at other people's lives and I get hope from them. So people that go through worse situations and they're able to, you know, maneuver or get out of it, it gives me so much like hope, because when you're able to like be on a platform where you see someone in person and they're struggling, but they're still taking the next step, why would I not want to do the same thing? So it's given me that much hope to give other people hope as well. And man, like, I get a lot of joy and satisfaction when I help people, but when I also see people strive off of them being consistent and me like being a voice for them.
I love that. I love that. One thing about you, just genuine, and the fact that you want to help other people, and most people now are just selfish. They really are, and they're really just kind of out to do for themselves and not think of others. But what I think about, even with this platform, is serving a purpose, and so I always keep God in the back of my mind, and you know, really being able to have people come on this platform just like yourself, sharing your journey, sharing your stories is really amazing, because people need that. And so I know you're not on TikTok right now, but you know, where does your hustle continue from here? What are you working on?
So right now, besides being a Scrum Master, just like speaking still, really trying to start more nonprofits and get more people involved in like venturing out into what they really want to do. I want to like be able to get people's dreams like coming to fruition. And I always tell people, like, you know, your greatest miracle is always going to come from your scary place. And you know, people, like, you gotta understand that there's people that are great, but they feel the fear inside them, but they do it anyway. So you gotta be able to jump out into that fear. That's what's going to separate you from other people. And you know, just trying to get people you know, more on that, like as a voice, is really what I'm trying to do.
Yes, I love it. You kind of speaking to me and what I got going on right now. But yes, so even though you know your main focus right now isn't social media, you still have left a huge impact. And so you gotta let the people know where they can find your TikTok, your LinkedIn, and
So you guys can find me on LinkedIn. So my name is long, so let me spell it out. So it's Ifeanyi. So Ifeanyi Imachukwu. Let me spell that last name. Imachukwu. It's a real African name, all right? And then my TikTok is the Ifeys, THEIFYS. And those are really like the only two I have right now, but always looking to connect and always looking to, you know, make an impact. So yeah.
I love it. Well, I wish you nothing but continued success on your journey, and thank you for just coming on this platform and really just sharing a little bit about your journey.
Thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate you having me on here. I think like you taking the step is going to be like so important. I think you're going to like make something happen to the best of your ability. So I'm proud of you, and I'm rooting for you 100%.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Well, guys, that was another episode of the Hustle mini series. Stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching.